Hey, Don Casey here. Going to do a video review of the DJI battery station modified by Volarious version 2. So in this video, I'm just going to go over the changes between the version 2 and the version 1, what they've improved, and basically any improvements I think that they could make to make this better. So the DJI battery station was modified by Volarious. And they in the version 1, they did a really great job. They took 4 of the charging ports over here and they moved them over here. In the original battery station, you could only fit TV50s. So what they did is they 3D printed, moved these connectors over here, and allowed you to charge 4 TB55s on the original version 1. Well, that became an issue for people with more than 2 sets of batteries or 4 TB55s. What if they had 6 or 8 or 10 or even more? It would take them a long time to charge those batteries. And also, if they didn't have TB50s, there's a whole half of the charger that they weren't using. This also was an issue for the M200 series version 2 owners because they can't use TB50s at all. So basically, again, there's a whole half of the charger they can't use. So Volarious kind of picked up on that. They modified their this battery station and changed the design. And so in the new design, they basically have all the charging ports are over here. But what they've done is they've raised the connectors up with the 3D printed mounts, and they have allowed you to charge or plug up to 8 TB55s at a time. Now, both versions, you can only charge 2 sets of batteries at a time. And it's a limitation of the DJI battery station, not a limit by Volarious. So you can plug up to 8 batteries at a time, but only 4 are going to charge at any given time. And then once one set or one battery or 2 batteries, or actually if all 4 came up at the same time, then it would go to the next 4 batteries. So I'm just going to go over the improvements that they've done and just give you my thoughts. So definitely improvement is the design of the charging ports. One of the issues we had with the version 1 was that when the 3D printed over here, when you put the 55s in, there was no tolerance. And what that means is usually there should be just a slight wiggle on the batteries when you put them in the charger. And that's normal because as batteries charge or they get warm, they're going to expand. And one of the issues we had with the original charger was because there was no tolerances, when those batteries were warm, you may have had trouble getting them in, or even worse, you had trouble getting them out. So in this new design, that's no longer an issue because the part of the battery that's going to swell, there is no 3D printing. There's nothing for it to get stuck on. So that's a really great thing there that they did. Also, I think with the new design, it allows a lot better airflow, so you can actually the batteries can cool off because they're not sitting down in the 3D printing, basically insulating them. So this actually allows a lot more airflow, which potentially also allows the batteries to cool off faster. And as we saw in the video that Garrett did and I participated in, the Colorado drone charger, the new version actually has fans in there and actually allowed it to actually start charging the batteries about 2 minutes faster. So that's a big deal there. And I think also if Volarious came up with something with some fans that would blow across these batteries, that maybe plug in the USB or maybe plug in somewhere else and just went in that little port over here, maybe that would make the difference. There's Peltier coolers out there that can also do that job, so maybe something in that neighborhood would help. So another thing that I noticed with the new design is on my version 1, I actually saw that the little battery connectors were recessed just slightly, and every so often I'd notice I would get a battery communication failure. And that became a big issue. Is if the battery connection failure happened, your battery stopped charging, and well, if your battery stopped charging, then that becomes a problem, because especially if it's part of a set, then you can't take that set up. And you always want to keep your batteries in sets and always fly them in sets, because that's important, so that they're getting the same amount of cycles. And you don't want to have, one battery with 19 cycles and another battery with 40 cycles, because they're basically, one battery may go down faster because it's aged, it's had more cycles on it, and that become an issue for your aircraft. So another thing that I like about the design that they did is, because of this, I actually like it, because I can kind of see the batteries a little better. I can get my hands on the batteries a lot quicker than the original design. Now, what else would I improve? I think, as far as it goes, I think, and Garrett suggested this, is maybe have a pin with a little handle that we can pull this out and we can remove the lid. Like I said, some of these battery boxes are going to go in vehicles, and they definitely don't need the lid on them. It's more of a hindrance than anything else. But we still want to be able to slide that pin back in and have the lid in case we need it. So this battery station, again, does everything the typical DJI battery stations does. You can discharge down to 50 or 25%. Like I said, it's really great, especially if you have multiple sets of batteries. You don't fly that often, that kind of thing. That becomes a huge benefit to you there. The flexible charging, so you can charge these to full or 90%. And in public safety, that can basically be life or death. We can have where with the 90% allows us to get these batteries back up and potentially get our aircraft, or keep our aircraft in the air at all times. So the other thing is that this, again, like the DJI battery station, you have these USB ports here that allows you to charge an iPad or a phone. You can charge 2 of them at a time. It's a really great thing they did. Also, you have the capability, these cords over here allow you to plug in these Crystal Sky battery chargers, and you can have 2 of these, so you can plug up to 4 Crystal Sky batteries at a time, and these charge 1 at a time in each cradle, so you have 2 cradles. That's 2 of these Crystal Sky batteries being charged at one time, so that's another huge advantage there. So overall, I think it's a great charger. And especially with the design and the changes that Volarious has made, I think they've got a great product here. I think if they can come up with a design to help maybe cool these things down quicker, I think it would put this over the top, and this would be just an absolute great charger. But overall, if you're thinking about getting one of these, I definitely recommend that you do, if you have the budget for it. Anyway, this is just my review, and I'll talk to you guys later.